Movie scene, Blade, Shadow Prelude, NT. Blade's warehouse lab, night. A dark, gritty warehouse pulses with a low red glow. Scattered around are vials of strange serums, silver stakes, UV grenades, and advanced vampiric tech. Sparks fly as Blade, Wesley Snipes, welds something onto a modified shotgun barrel. Music blares from an old speaker, gritty hip-hop with heavy bass. Blade, wearing his tactical vest, shades on, nods subtly to the beat as he adjusts a glowing cartridge. Close-up. His fingers lock in a serum labeled Daybreaker V3.9. Suddenly, the music cuts out. Shadowy voice. OS, Blade. Blade freezes. He doesn't flinch, but slowly reaches for a nearby glaive on the workbench. Blade, quietly. You picked the wrong night. The lights flicker. A cold wind sweeps through the room, even though the windows are sealed.
Shadowy figure steps out from the darkness, face still hidden.
A faint glint of fangs. The figure speaks again. Shadowy figure. They're back, and this time, they brought him. Blade's jaw tightens. Blade, then I guess I'll need a bigger serum. He locks the glaive on his back, grabs his coat, and turns toward the figure, eyes burning with resolve.
Movie scene continued. Blade, Shadow Crusade scene. Royal Shadows unite NT. Blade's warehouse lab, night. The warehouse hums with tension. Blade stands motionless, hand near his sword, eyes scanning every flicker in the dark. He senses it again, like a ghost from a war long past. Suddenly, a shimmer of vibranium energy pulses in the corner. From the shadows, with feline grace and silent precision, T'Challa, the Black Panther, steps into the pale light, fully suited, the vibranium weave of his armor catching the faint glow. Blade's grip on his weapon loosens, but only slightly. Blade didn't expect Wakanda to send a king into the mud. T'Challa, Wakanda does not stand by while the world bleeds. Blade smirks faintly. Blade, so you heard. T'Challa, we did more than here. One of our vibranium vaults was breached from the inside. The energy signature matches an ancient blood curse, one that predates my kingdom's oldest scrolls. We traced it here. Blade walks over to his arsenal, grabs his twin silver blades. Blade. Then I'm guessing this curse has teeth. T'Challa and claws. It's not just vampires anymore. Something older is manipulating them. A force that feeds on both science and soul. Blade. I've seen it. Dante saw it. Raven saw it. Now you. Blade turns toward him, nodding slowly. Blade, conted. Looks like the universe is forming a hit squad. T'Challa steps forward, his claws retracting as a gesture of alliance. T'Challa. Then let's give this darkness something to fear. Crack boom. Thunderous portal explodes above them. Dark energy swirling, revealing glimpses of a ruined world beyond. Hordes of vampiric demons scream through the rift, led by a cloaked figure with a crown of obsidian bone, the High Wraith, leader of the Crimson Spiral. Blade, raising his glaive. Round 1. T'Challa, activating suit's energy surge. Wakanda stands with you. They charge into the portal, blades and claws gleaming. Fade to black title, Blade Legacy of Blood.
Movie scene continued. Blade Bloodline Awakened scene. The Whispering return int Blade's warehouse lab. Night, post-battle. The portal behind them fizzles out with a low hum, sealing shut with sparks of energy as Blade, Wesley Snipes, and T'Challa step through, weapons still drawn, blood of the fallen demons drying on their armor. Inside the warehouse, everything is silent. No lights, no sounds, no hum from the generators, just stillness. Blade walks ahead slowly. His boots crunch broken glass. T'Challa follows behind, eyes sharp, ready. Suddenly, whisper. OS, dark and ghostly. Blade! Come to me. It's your mother. Blade stops cold. His breath catches for a brief second. A flicker of emotion flashes in his eyes. T'Challa, Blade? Blade, quiet, distant. That voice, it can't be. Whisper continues, OS. You've been hunting monsters your whole life, but what if one of them gave birth to you? Suddenly the lab lights flicker violently, screens flash static, and the walls seem to pulse like they're breathing. Blade, I buried her, burned her bones. Vampires turned her. I ended it, T'Challa. Then why does the energy in this place feel alive? A gust of cold wind sweeps through the sealed lab. One of the mirrors in the lab shatters outward, shards frozen midair, suspended by some unseen force. From within the mirror, a shadowy female figure steps forward, glowing eyes, half her face human, half decayed, fanged. A twisted crown of bone on her head. A black aura cloaks her form. Mother, shadowed. You never asked where your other half came from. Blade's knees almost buckle, but he holds firm. Blade, that's not her. Mother, not anymore. But what's left of her remembers you. And now, I want you back, son. Suddenly, the entire lab rumbles. The broken tech begins reassembling itself into a new portal, dark red, pulsing like a wound to another dimension. T'Challa, Blade, that's not a gateway, it's a summoning. Mother OS, come willingly, or watch this world bleed like I did. Blade sheathes his sword, slowly walking toward the portal. Blade, coldly. Then let's finish what you started. T'Challa, you're not going alone. Blade, I have to. If I don't, she won't stop. He steps into the blood-red light, vanishing into the unknown. Cut to black title card. Blade, Mother of Shadows. Movie scene continued. Blade, Mother of Shadows, scene The Undead Bloodline Int. Blade's warehouse lab, Nightblade, Wesley Snipes, has stepped into the Crimson Portal, swallowed by the unknown. Back in the lab, the moment he vanishes, a chill sweeps through the room. T'Challa, Black Panther, stands alone, panther suit flickering with kinetic energy. The lights have gone out. Only the soft hum of ancient tech remains, but something's wrong. Whispers, OS, dozens, layered. He left you, alone. You smell of royalty, but you bleed like prey. Wakandan pride can't save you here. T'Challa lowers into a defensive stance. His panther instincts sharpen. He closes his eyes, breathing deep. He hears the whispers, but senses nothing. No footsteps, no heartbeats. T'Challa, intense whisper. You wear the dark like a mask, but I was born in it. He dodges by instinct, claws flashing, slicing at air. You are not the heir she wants. Cut to Int realm of the Shadow Mother. Unknown dimension. Blade walks alone in a space that bends reality. Floating ruins, crimson skies, and rivers of blood flowing uphill. His boots splash through corrupted soil. Fog hovers low and whispers echo around him. A figure emerges, his mother. But not as he remembered. She is regal yet monstrous. A long black gown made of shadow tendrils. Her face, half beautiful, half corrupted by ancient vampiric magic. Her eyes glow with sorrow and power. Mother, softly. You've grown strong, stronger than I was allowed to become. Blade, you're not her. You're what's left after she died. Mother. No, I'm what she became. The Crimson Spiral chose me. Gave me purpose, gave me a kingdom. Blade grips his sword but doesn't draw yet. Blade. And now you want me to rule with you? Mother, no. I want you to kneel. Suddenly, blood roots rise from the ground, wrapping around Blade's arms, dragging him downward. Her army begins to form behind her, corrupted versions of vampire hunters, souls she's stolen, all wearing Blade's old enemies' faces. Mother, Khantid, the day you were born, you were mine. Not theirs, not humanity's. And now you'll take your place or be unmade. Blade's eyes flare red, a surge of rage, grief, and defiance. Blade, you should have stayed dead. Cut back to Int. Warehouse Lab T'Challa, bruised, stands surrounded. The invisible enemies beginning to take form in flashes. Cloaked vampires fused with ancient tech. Shadow assassins sent by the Spiral to stop him from following Blade. T'Challa activating full kinetic blast. You want royalty? Then bow before it. He unleashes a violet EMP shockwave, launching the assassins into the walls. Match cut to Blade breaking free of the blood roots with a war cry. Title card, Blade the Blood Throne. Movie scene continued. Blade, the Blood Throne scene. Kings in the Shadow Realm, Int. Blade's warehouse lab. Knight T'Challa stumbles to one knee, blood dripping from a gash across his side. The shadows vanish, retreating into smoke. The warehouse is still, but his heart is not. Breathing deeply, he centers himself, crouching into a Wakandan meditation stance. Vibranium pulses softly through his suit as he murmurs an ancient chant. His fingers touch the burning crimson spiral sigil on the wall. It glows again. T'Challa, showing resolve. I walk where no kings have walked, for my brother in arms. A sudden shockwave of spirit energy explodes outward. and the portal reopens, fueled by his inner strength. Unlike before, it's shaped like a panther's maw, roaring open. He steps through, cut to Int. Realm of the Shadow Mother, Nightmare Dimension. Blade, Wesley Snipes, lies on one knee, restrained by crimson blood roots. His mother, regal and terrifying, hovers above him. Her fangs gleam. Mother, let me return what was stolen. She descends, slowly, her mouth opening, ready to bite her own son. Blade, gritting teeth, do it, and see what happens. SFX, zzz, thoom. A sudden burst of purple kinetic energy crashes into the side of the throne chamber. T'Challa blasts in from the sky, claws drawn, energy rippling across his suit. He crashes into the blood roots, severing them with a spin kick and slicing Blade free. T'Challa, panting. I told you! You're not going in alone. Blade rolls to his feet, eyes meeting T'Challa's. A silent nod of respect passes between them. Mother, enraged, distorted voice. Two kings, and still no crown between them. Her eyes glow white-hot. The chamber shakes. Her undead army emerges again, surrounding them, this time larger, faster, and wearing armor crafted from the bones of fallen daywalkers. Blade, low to T'Challa. This ain't about thrones anymore. This is family business, and then I hate family reunions. T'Challa, then let's end the bloodline. Our way. The two warriors launch into battle, Blade slicing through the cursed knights with his silver glaive, T'Challa flipping through the air, his kinetic suit absorbing hits before exploding them back tenfold. As chaos erupts, the Mother of Shadows rises into the air, her body splitting into wings of pure shadow. Her voice becomes many. Mother, echoing, come, my son, inherit the spiral, or drown in it. Blade throws off his coat, twin blades in hand. Blade, grinning coldly. Lady, I've been drowning since birth. Fade to black title card. Blade, Blood and Honor.
Movie scene continued. Blade, Blood and Honor scene. After the fall, the true evil awakens in T. Realm of the Shadow Mother. Final moments. Blade, Wesley Snipes, and T'Challa, Black Panther, stand bloodied, panting, but victorious. The Mother of Shadows lets out a final scream as Blade's silver glaive impales her heart, and T'Challa releases a kinetic pulse that disintegrates her corrupted soul. Her scream echoes like thunder, shattering the blood sky. The realm begins to collapse, ripping apart like paper soaked in fire. A shockwave of pure dark energy erupts from her corpse. Boom! Int. Blade's lab. Night. The portal explodes, hurling Blade and T'Challa back into the warehouse. They crash against the floor, coughing and bruised, barely able to move. Blade slowly sits up, face grim. Blade grunts. Remind me never to visit family again. Suddenly, the room grows cold. The ground begins to tremble. Lights flicker wildly. A swirling tornado of snakes, spiders, and vampire bats forms in the center of the lab. The creatures hiss, screech, and hiss louder, spiraling upward into a chaotic vortex of black wings and slithering scales. T'Challa, rising to his feet. Something's very wrong. The vortex stops instantly. The creatures fall dead in midair, frozen. From the eye of the storm, a figure steps forward, tall, cloaked, face hidden beneath a bone mask carved from the remains of an ancient dragon. His body pulses with dark energy older than the spiral, more powerful than the Shadow Mother. His voice is calm, Colt. Final mysterious figure. You've slain a queen, but woken a god. Blade stands, tightening his gloves. Blade. And you are? Figure, removing mask. I am what made her. And what makes you? I am the first Fang, the original blood. The beginning of your curse. His eyes burn like suns of obsidian. T'Challa to Blade, low voice. This is bigger than your mother. Blade, yeah. This is the one that started it all. The first Fang raises a hand. The shadows bend, and the entire city skyline outside the lab darkens. First Fang, you inherited her strength, but you were meant for me. He vanishes in smoke, but not before dropping a small stone tablet, etched with a symbol neither of them has seen before. A spiral within a Fang, bleeding. The lab begins shaking again. Sirens blare. The battle isn't over. Fade to black title card. Blade, First Blood. Movie scene continued. Blade, First Blood scene. the hybrid swarm and the arrival of the Bat ENT. Blade's lab, night under siege. The storm is far from over. The lab shakes as the first fang vanishes into shadow. Then the silence is broken by a guttural howl. From the remnants of the swirling darkness, the ground cracks open and rotting hands claw their way out. Zombies, covered in necrotic rot and vampiric runes, rise in droves, eyes glowing red, moving fast and unnaturally agile. From behind them, hybrid pit bull-like beasts lurch out of the shadows, mutated twice the size of normal dogs, flesh torn, eyes white, their mouths foaming and dripping black blood that hisses when it hits the ground. Blade, Wesley Snipes, draws both swords, face grim. Blade! You know what I hate more than vampires? Dead dogs. T'Challa channels kinetic energy, fists pulsing violent. T'Challa. We don't stop them here, but there is no Wakanda. No world. They fight viciously. Blade cuts down zombies left and right, his movements a mix of rage and precision. T'Challa flips over the beasts, delivering fatal blasts with each impact, his suit absorbing energy and redirecting it. But they're being overwhelmed. Then, a sudden crackle of static from T'Challa's wrist comm. Batman, VO through static. T'Challa, Blade, do you read me? You're not alone. The readings I'm getting from your position, Blade, fighting. Is that Batman? T'Challa, breathing hard. He must have tracked the dimensional signature. Smart. But he's in danger if he... Suddenly, the creatures around them freeze, growling in confusion. A dark pulse of energy shoots from the shadows, hitting T'Challa's wrist device. The First Fang's voice echoes again. First Fang OS. You brought another... Perfect. The radio explodes in a burst of black lightning. NT. Batcave. Simultaneous Batman, Bruce Wayne, sits at the Bat computer, eyes narrowed at the feedback coming from the Wakandan signal. Suddenly, his equipment glitches violently. A strange vampiric code floods the monitors. Batman tapping keys fast. No, that's not possible. Before he can react, a portal of dark red smoke rips open inside the Batcave. First Fang VO. Welcome to the hunt, detective. Batman reaches for a batarang, but the shadows collapse around him and pull him in. Int Blade's lab. Seconds. Later in the center of the lab, another portal tears open. And Batman, Ben Affleck or Robert Pattinson, your pick, is hurled through it, landing in a crouch, cape billowing behind him. He stands, slowly taking in the carnage. Zombies, beasts, Blade mid-swing, T'Challa charging up another blast. Batman, grim, I hope I didn't miss the party. Blade, grins, just in time, Dracula's back, and he brought friends. Batman, then we bring war. The three heroes stand shoulder to shoulder, surrounded, outnumbered, but not outclassed. Cut to black title card. Blade, Bloodlines United. Smoke fills the air, wires hang from shattered beams. Alarms blare weakly, dying in and out. Batman is on the ground, chest plate cracked and sparking from a direct hit by a plasma-charged vampire hound. He coughs, trying to sit up. His cape smoldering, face bloodied, breathing hard through his cowl. Blade, Wesley Snipes, and T'Challa, Black Panther, lie motionless, bruised and barely conscious, their bodies littered with debris and scorch marks from the swarm's relentless assault. The room falls into a suffocating silence. Then the hordes emerge. Over 200 creatures, a perfect circle of death. Elite vampires, armored and silent zombie berserkers, twitching and drooling hybrid pit bull hellhounds, blood foaming from their fangs. They slowly close in, encircling the fallen trio. The creatures don't attack, they wait, eyes locked, muscles tensed. Then, a platform of shadow rises in the center of the room. The First Fang appears, floating inches above the ground, arms behind his back, eyes glowing with unnatural calm. First Fang, calmly. This is Mercy. He walks slowly toward them as his army parts to let him through. First Fang to Blade. Your mother defied me, you rebelled. He brought a kingdom's arrogance, and this one glances at Batman. He came uninvited. Batman, wheezing, still defiant. You're stalling. You're afraid of what happens if we stand back up. First Fang. I fear nothing. But I know potential when I see it. Join me or become extinct. Blade, groggy, lifting his head. You talk too much. First Fang, smiling. Then let me show you silence. He raises one hand. The entire army prepares to strike. Claws raised, jaws open, weapons drawn. The circle closes tighter, inches away. Camera spins 360 degrees, showing Blade, T'Challa, and Batman, all wounded, surrounded, outnumbered, but staring defiantly into the eyes of death. T'Challa, low voice. If this is it, we go out like kings. SFX, loud crackling, a rip in time. Suddenly, Wam, a golden flash tears through the ceiling. A fourth figure drops in, blades spinning, guns firing, ripping through vampires mid-air like a cyclone of fury. It's Whistler's daughter, Abigail, Jessica Biel, or a new MCU ally, or even Moon Knight. They land between the three heroes and the Horde. Newcomer, coldly. You look like you could use a resurrection. The heroes rise to their feet, bloodied, breathing hard, but alive. Blade cracks neck. Now we're back in business. Fade out title card. Blade, Nightfall Ascension. Movie scene continued. Blade, Nightfall Ascension scene. Call of the Impossible. Final war begins. NT. Blade's lab. Night turned to nightmare. The smoke clears just enough to reveal the unimaginable. First Fang, aka Mercy, lifts both arms skyward, his voice echoing like a chorus of the damned. First Fang, Mercy. Let the spiral swell. Bring forth my legion. SFX, rumbling, ripping dimensions. Apart from the shadow-warped ground, 4,000 more hybrid creatures rise, towering ogres with vampire DNA, spider-legged revenants, and werewolf-dragon fusions. The circle expands outward, creatures clenching weapons, teeth gnashing, wings unfurling, growling in perfect synchronization. T'Challa, clenching his side. We can't survive this. Blade, grim, eyes narrowed. Then we don't try. Not alone. Batman taps his gauntlet. A deep tone pulses into the sky. Beyond satellites, beyond known frequencies. Something ancient responds. Batman, flatly. I just called in reinforcements. Ones you wouldn't believe if I told you. SFX, a blinding blast of light. A golden rift opens in the air like a god tearing apart reality itself. Out floats a familiar figure, levitating. Arms crossed, tail swaying, aura glowing with divine malice. Frieza, Dragon Ball Z lands. Frieza smirking. Oh, how quaint. A vampire army. Let's see how they scream in pieces. Wesley Snipes. Blade, low, stunned. You brought space demons? Batman, stoic. No. That was just the start. SFX, BZ, Zame. Another rift opens. Claws rip through the void. The air smells like blood and metal. Wolverine, Hugh Jackman or comic-accurate variant, appears, slicing clean through a hybrid mid-jump before even landing. Wolverine, growling. I smelled blood from 6 dimensions over. Let's end this, bub. First Fang, narrowing eyes. No, this isn't possible. This breaks fate. Blade, grinning. We're rewriting fate. SFX, earthquaking roar. Then silence. Suddenly, time slows. The air tears open once more, this time glowing white-hot with godlike energy. Kratos, from God of War, covered in ashes and vengeance, steps forward through a storming portal, Leviathan axe in one hand, blades of chaos swinging behind him. Kratos, gruff. I kill gods. You are a shadow pretending to be one. He glares directly at First Fang. First Fang, now visibly shaken. This is heresy. Frieza, hovering. This is entertainment. Blade, sword in hand. This is payback. SFX. Music rises. The final war begins. The screen splits momentarily as Wolverine tears through vampires like tissue paper. Kratos swings the blades of chaos, setting fire to hordes. Frieza unleashes a death beam storm from above. Batman disables a wave of beasts using smoke grenades, martial arts, and shadow tactics T'Challa channels ancient vibranium to blast shockwaves. Blade beheads 6 creatures in a spinning dive and lands in the center. Then, allies form a line. The 7 warriors, standing side by side as the 4,000-plus creature army surrounds them. First Fang, enraged. Kill them all. Fade to black. Title card, Blade, The Final Hunt, Part 1.
Movie scene continued. Blade, The Final Hunt, Part 2. Scene, the shattered planet of the damned EXT. Planet Zirthul, blood red sky, unknown galaxy. The screen erupts into a violent explosion of light as all combatants, Blade, Batman, T'Challa, Wolverine, Kratos, Frieza, and First Fang's army, are sucked through a collapsing dimensional rift. The sky cracks open, and the earth beneath Blade's lab is gone. Everything shifts. Now, a planet twisted by war and dark magic, Zirthul, a forgotten realm where gravity pulses like a heartbeat, the skies churn with lightning, and the terrain is sharp, jagged obsidian. Int-warped dimension. Moments earlier, Frieza, panting, his golden form flickering, begins to collapse as his energy drains. Frieza, panicked. No, I am perfection! I cannot. Suddenly, shadowy claws grip his throat from behind. First Fang, eyes glowing demonic red, snarls and lifts him effortlessly. First Fang whispers, perfection, dies in silence. With a sickening crack, Fang slams Frieza into the ground, burying him in a crater. SFX, a sonic boom. The planet trembles. The sky above splits. From the heavens, a massive green form crashes down like a comet. The shockwave levels 100 vampire foot soldiers instantly. The Incredible Hulk, but unlike ever before. Skin glowing emerald electric, lightning crawling across his body, veins pulsating with gamma fury, eyes hypercharged, glowing neon green with burning rage, teeth sharper. Roar deeper! Hulk! Roaring like thunder. Hulk! Unleashed! He leaps, grabbing 2 hybrid beasts by their skulls and smashing them into dust. First Fang, smirking, doesn't retreat. Instead, he raises his hands once again. First Fang, you killed her once, now meet her perfected. From behind him, a portal of blood and smoke rips open, and out steps Blade's mother. But this isn't the woman he remembered. She is now fused with a psychic mind control core pulsing in her chest, vampire tech armor, plated with crimson blades and regenerating skin, eyes black as void, connected to every undead creature on the battlefield. Her voice is calm and terrifying, Blade's mother, possessed. I remember you, Eric. But I'm not yours anymore, I'm his. Blade, eyes wide, whispering, no. Suddenly, every hero, Batman, T'Challa, Wolverine, Kratos, is lifted off the ground telekinetically, suspended in the air. She's using her mind to paralyze them. Only Hulk remains grounded, shaking off the effects, resisting. Kratos, struggling, she's linked to the planet. We kill her. We shatter everything. Batman, eyes tracking something unseen. Unless we break the link, sever the source. Hulk charges toward Blade's mother, roaring louder than ever. But just as he lunges, she extends her hand and summons a storm of razor bats and flaming blood vines from the terrain. They wrap around Hulk like chains. Camera pulls back to reveal the planet's core beneath them is a living heart, pulsating. A voice, possibly the ancient vampire god, speaks from the abyss. VO, deep and ancient. All blood returns to me. Fade to black. Title card. Blade, Blood of Gods, The Final Hunt, Part 3.
Movie scene continued. Blade, Blood of Gods, The Final Hunt, Part 3. Scene, Rise of the Forbidden Powers XT. Planet Zirthul, Warzone Inferno. The sky is splitting open from energy blasts. Red lightning tears across the atmosphere, and the ground cracks like glass beneath the chaos of combat. Kratos charges the ancient vampire god, spinning the Leviathan axe into its heart, but it ricochets off the golden red aura. The god's eyes glow with primal fury, looking down like time itself hates him. Ancient vampire god, deep seismic. Gods who slay are still prey. He knocks Kratos backward with just his gaze, sending him tumbling through 3 black stone pillars, blood smearing his blades. Suddenly, a flaming comet drops from the sky, a burning force of destruction. SFX. A A red shockwave incinerates half the battlefield. Red Hulk, fused form lands in the crater, skin burning with molten gamma lava, eyes glowing plasma yellow, breathing supersonic fire like a dragon furnace. Roaring so loud it fractures the air itself. Red Hulk, raging. "I don't burn, I erase!" He opens his mouth and unleashes a wave of flaming supersonic breath, melting hordes of vampire creatures in one blast. Blade, Batman, Wolverine, and T'Challa all stagger, barely reacting before getting slammed by a blur. First Fang echoing, "You will fall," without even seeing the blade. Blade's mother, now fully unrecognizable in her ultimate form, mind-controlled, armored, and fused with dark planet energy, steps toward Blade. With one slap, she sends a hallucination blast straight into his skull. Blade's POV. He's falling into a psychic nightmare, a vision of him killing innocents, his mother whispering, "You are the monster." The sword in his hand, dripping blood from friends' faces, SFX. Thunderous strikes, red lightning bombards the ground. Explosions tear holes in the battlefield, giant red bolts splitting the terrain into canyons of fire. Then, the air hums. A blue portal swirls open above the battlefield. The air goes still. And through it steps a terrifying fusion of pure rage and precision. Bloodscream. But he's now, fused with Carnage's symbiote tendrils, twisting like serpents, infused with Magneto's mind-shielding helmet and powers, creating magnetic shock fields. Arms coated in obsidian blades that slice space itself. He floats down calmly, eyes glowing plasma blue, voice dripping with killer charm. Suddenly, all the air explodes outward. A mega shockwave of magnetic energy and symbiote tendrils tears across the battlefield. Even the ancient vampire god flinches. Batman barely holding ground. That's not just a monster, that's controlled chaos. Wolverine smirks, claws ready. Then it's time we become the storm. Camera pans back to reveal. Kratos rising, eyes glowing with divine wrath. Red Hulk charging Fang full-speed blade, breaking out of the illusion, yelling in agony, Bloodscream grinning, tendrils sharpening, the battlefield glowing, ready to collapse. Allies. Rally. Music rises, fade out. Title card Blade, Godfall. Apocalypse, the final chapter coming soon.
Movie scene continued. Blade, Godfall Apocalypse. The final chapter begins scene. Betrayal and Exodus, EXT. Planet Zerthul, the final war zone. The war descends into pure, chaotic devastation. Red lightning tears the skies in half. The ancient vampire god hovers over the battlefield like a dying sun, watching the madness unfold with divine indifference. Below him, the final act of despair begins. The Incredible Hulk, now drenched in vampiric blood from Fang's devastating venom strike, doesn't move. Fang floats back, grinning, but then Hulk, growling low, "You bleed me, I evolve." A blinding green inferno erupts from within. Hulk's body cracks open with glowing gamma veins. His muscles triple in mass, and gold energy wings of radiation rip from his back. God Hulk is born. Fang's smile fades into horror. Fang, no. That's not possible. God Hulk, roaring. Hulk is wrath. He charges at Fang, the ground behind him collapsing with every step. The collision shatters mountains and sends shockwaves through the sky, but in the shadows, something worse unfolds. Blade, bloodied, his armor fractured, finally rises. Blade's mother, in his mind whispering, "They never trusted you. You were always the weapon, not the man." Blade's pupils flicker red. His aura pulses dark. He looks at his friends, then turns away from the light. Batman, noticing, "Blade? What are you doing?" Blade, cold, finishing what they started. In a blur faster than light, he flashes across the battlefield. Kratos turns. Too late. Blade plunges his sword through Kratos' chest, twisting it with deadly precision. The ghost of Sparta collapses, his eyes wide with silent rage before going still. The God Killer is dead. Batman, shouting, "No!" Wolverine, "What the hell are you doing, Blade?" Before anyone can react, Blade pulls out a vampiric venom sphere, infused with his mother's corrupted blood and ancient toxin. He hurls it with perfect aim at T'Challa. T'Challa, Wakanda forever, the sphere hits. T'Challa's vibranium suit melts instantly, flesh and armor dissolving like lava. His scream cuts the battlefield like a dagger before silence takes him. Black Panther is gone. Batman, Wolverine, God Hulk, Bloodscream, all frozen in disbelief. Blade stares at them, eyes hollow. Blade's mother, voice echoing through him. Now you see, Eric, and they were never your family. Suddenly, a blinding white flash. An ultra-teleport beacon, activated by Batman's last resort device, warps open a glowing escape portal. Bloodscream pulls Wolverine in. Batman covers the rear, limping, grabbing Hulk. They escape in the final second, just before the ground collapses into a red hellhole. In hidden underground refuge, hours later, silence. Flickering lights, ash dust, blood. The surviving heroes, Batman, Wolverine, God Hulk, Weakened, and Bloodscream, sit in ruins. No Kratos, no T'Challa. Blade lost Wolverine quietly. He was one of us. Batman, calm but crushed. Now he's our enemy. God Hulk, low growl. We end this. Next time. In the corner, Wolverine wipes blood from his claws, eyes wet. Bloodscream, stoic. This isn't the end. This is the beginning of revenge. Fade to black, title card. Blade Reckoning War. Coming soon. The redemption or destruction of Blade.
Movie scene continued, Blade, Reckoning War, Part 2, Fall of the Icons, Scene, The Last Line, Int. Fortress Haven, deep bunker war room. Red emergency lights flicker across the bunker as an eerie quiet settles. The remaining heroes, Batman, Bloodscream, Wolverine, and the weakened God Hulk, gather around the holotable. A transmission echoes through the static. Batman, grim tone. We're not done. But something worse is coming. If we don't prepare, we won't survive the next hour. Wolverine, gruff. Then we sharpen the claws and light the fire. Int. Armor Bay, montage sequence. Batman reforges his hell armor, a fusion of tech and vampire-slaying silver plasma. Bloodscream magnetically reconstructs his tendrils into razor whips laced with anti-vampire venom. Wolverine upgrades with adamantium-piercing stakes in his wrists and a cloak that renders him invisible to psychic detection. Even the remains of T'Challa's armor are reforged into a relic dagger to honor him. The tension is unbearable. Everyone waits. Then, the impossible happens. EXT, outer walls, fortress perimeter, night. A low hum vibrates the earth. The air bends like heat rising from asphalt. Suddenly, a vortex opens outside the safety walls. A being emerges. Appearance: cloaked in vapor, eyes glowing like dying suns. Its limbs glitch like broken reality. Wielding a sword that bleeds shadow fire and firing heat-seeking bullets that track thoughts. Speed: faster than the Flash. Its motion is silence itself. It's Mirage, a hallucination-based assassin fused with forbidden vampire tech and nightmare speed. NT Fortress. Breach alarm blares. Before anyone can react, the walls quake. A second portal rips open, pulsing blood red. Red Devil Gateway unleashes a horror. Mimic heroes flood through, twisted vampire clones of the original Avengers, X-Men, Justice League. Each in dark armor fused with necromagic. They walk like echoes powered by corrupted souls, eyes empty. Wolverine, ripping claws out. No more running. Batman, stand your ground. We fall here or we rise forever. Bloodscream, let's bleed the darkness. Battle begins. The slaughter of legends. Green Lantern, Mimic, unleashes vampire constructs, vaporizing half the base. Dark Thor, Mimic, calls red lightning that fries survivors. Captain America, Mimic, hurls a blood-forged shield, cleaving soldiers in half. The heroes fight back, but one by one, they fall. God Hulk, already weakened, is swarmed and taken down by Mimic Red Hulk. Rebuilt cyborg, destroyed by vampire Wonder Woman's soul blade. Ghost Rider, consumed in his own hellfire, turned against him. The ground becomes a pool of blood. Screams echo through the metal halls. Until only 3 are left. Wide shot. Batman, limping, eyes bloodied, holding a silver grenade. Wolverine, covered in blood, breathing like a beast. Bloodscream, quiet, eyes blazing, tendrils wrapped in the memories of his fallen. They stand in the silence, surrounded by mangled bodies, torn armor, shattered memories. And then, Out of the shadows walks Blade, eyes like black voids, face expressionless, covered in blood. Blade, calm. They were never strong enough. You three? You're just next. He stops 10 feet away. Blade, low growl. Let's finish this. Sefek silence. Wind howling through broken structure. Camera. Slow pan around the three heroes, then back to Blade. The screen begins to fade to black, until only Blade's eyes are visible, glowing crimson. Title card, Blade, The Final Night, Part 3. Next, Batman. Wolverine Bloodscream versus Blade.
Movie continuation, Blade, The Final Night, Part 3, Blood Reckoning Scene, The Last 3 Int. Fortress Haven, Main Chamber, Nightfall. Everything is dead silent save for the sizzling of blood on overheated steel. Bodies everywhere. Friends. Allies' legends. Disintegrated, torn. Ripped apart. The bunker. Once humanity's last safe haven. Now a crimson graveyard. In the center stands a warped Blade. His trench coat soaked in the blood of fallen heroes. Twin swords humming with cursed energy. His eyes glowing with ancient rage. Before him, the only ones left. Batman. Armor scorched, cowl cracked, standing tall despite a limp. Bloodscream, snarling mutated tendrils dripping with acid and grief. Wolverine, shirtless, slashed, healing slowly, claws out, breathing war. Batman, voice low, trembling with pain. We called for help. No one's coming. He looks around at the dead. Batman, eyes locked on Blade. This ends here, one way or another. Blade, calm, monstrous tone. I didn't want this. But you never understood what she showed me. He steps forward. Blade whispers. They were the disease, I'm the cure. Wolverine growls. You used to be one of us, bub. Now you're just another monster. Bloodscream. I've devoured gods. Let's see what you taste like, traitor. Suddenly, Blade vanishes. The three whip around on edge. He reappears behind them, faster than Flash, riding a pulse of crimson lightning, slashing at Bloodscream. Clash Bloodscream blocks barely. The battle begins. Blade versus the final three, Blade versus Bloodscream. A fury of blades and tendrils. Bloodscream lashes out with acidic tentacles. Blade slices through them like paper. He lands a blow, the Bloodscream screams, arm gone. Batman flanks, activating a light pulse EMP that momentarily disables Blade's shadow armor. But it's only for 2 seconds. Blade appears midair, twisting, launching a hell bullet that shreds through Batman's side. Wolverine attacks, going feral, claws slashing in a berserker rage. He manages to cut into Blade's chest, drawing vampire blood. Blade smirking through blood. There you are, Logan. He grabs Wolverine's face. Hallucination blast. Wolverine stumbles back, screaming, seeing visions of everyone he's ever failed. Batman throws down his final tech piece, a mini Suncore device blinding Blade for a split second. Batman, now Bloodscream and Wolverine strike in unison, claws and tendrils piercing Blade's chest. Blade staggers, Blade coughing. You actually think this is over? Suddenly the Red Devil portal reopens, larger now, consuming the bunker behind them. From within, a feminine laugh echoes. His mother, fanged, crowned in blood, floats toward them. Blade's mother, smiling. You've done well, my son. Now finish them, and take your throne beside me. Blade stares at the three. Torn bleeding, soul wavering, his grip loosens on his sword. His breathing slows, flashbacks flicker in his eyes. Whistler, old missions, his humanity. Batman, weak but firm. Blade. She took everything from you. Don't give her the rest. Intense silence. Blade looks at his mother, then back at them, and to be continued. Title card. Blade, Last Blood, Part War, The Son or the Savage. Coming soon.
Final scene, Blade, Last Blood. Part 4, Fall of the Icons title, Snap the Bat in T. Apocalyptic ruins, former bunker war room smoke. Fire ash. The last stronghold lies in rubble and crimson mist. The three warriors, Wolverine, Bloodscream, and Batman, charge for their final stand. Wolverine, feral roar. We end this now. Batman, for everyone we lost. Bloodscream, chanting. I give the rest of me to the fall of the damned. The strike. Batarangs whistle through the air, charged with collapsing neutronium. Wolverine lunges in a berserker rage, claws ignited with fire from his soul. Bloodscream unleashes his full power, a tidal wave of acid-laced, soul-splitting tendrils aimed at Blade's core. All aimed at one target, but Blade disappears. Faster than light, so fast it bends reality. In a blink, boom, silence. Then, Bloodscream stops midair, looking down. His body splits apart, evaporating like smoke in a storm. Gone. Wolverine's body collapses to its knees, his torso sliced clean. His body flickers into ash, fading with his last breath. Jean, Batman, falling to his knees. No, his hands tremble. Rage and disbelief consume him. He stands one last time, battered, broken, armor cracked. Batman roars, "You won't win." He throws every weapon he has, bat grenades, EMP stakes, plasma darts. Everything. Blade walks through it. Doesn't flinch. Not one scratch. Then Blade's eyes glow, deep blood red. His voice echoes like a god. Blade, coldly, "You're not the Batman anymore." Eyes wide, body shaking. Mind twisted by dark magic and ancient vampire control. He tries to resist, teeth clenched. But slowly, his own hands rise to his neck. Batman whispers, I snap. His body drops, silent. Still, Blade walks forward. Stands over him, smirking. His eyes flicker like demon flames. Blade, low, satisfied whisper, "Snap, the bat." He looks up to the sky as blood rains. The world has fallen. Humanity has no more gods. Only him, black screen. Title card, Blade, Apocalypse Blood, the end. Post-credit, tease. In a distant frozen wasteland, something stirs beneath the ice, glowing green. A pulse, a heartbeat, and then